Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 2 of the College Fishing Breakdown. My name is Braden Sutherland. I'm joined here today by Cody Aliff, the Junior Series champion on Bugs Island this week. It was a smack out tournament. I mean, there was a lot of five fish limits, but it was tough. It seemed like to have that bigger bag and trying to find those bigger fish. But we're gonna go over his fishing story, how he actually ended up winning the tournament, and all that kind of good stuff. But glad to have you on today, Cody.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
So I want you to kind of start from the beginning. Uh, First off, who and kind of how did you get into fishing?
Well, my family had a lake house, and we'd always go there every spring break and always like bass fish and crappie fish. And yeah, just me and my dad.
Yeah,
And yeah,
there you go. So kind of a small roots kind of thing, just kind of walking the
yeah,
bank.
yes, sir.
There you go. So tournament wise, what got you like tournament fishing?
Um, well, the first couple tournaments I fished were like pond fishing and pond tournaments, and I started winning those, and I knew then that that's what I wanted to do.
There you go. So pond fishing tournaments, that's something I've never done. How does that go on? Do they just kind of give you like one fish or five fish?
Yeah, it's just their biggest fish go weigh
Okay.
in.
So is it
Yeah.
like you go fish all day for your biggest fish, or you catch one and bring it in?
You go like there's the weigh-in station at the pond, so you just catch a fish and bring it to the weigh station.
Okay, cool. So it's almost like a big bass event where you kind of have that hour, you go weigh in, and then
Yes,
you go back out fishing.
yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I want to kind of jump into the mainstream tournament stuff. When did you fish your kind of first big tournament?
I was in sixth grade, I think. I started fishing like the junior Bassmasters,
Yeah.
and yeah. So at
Was it?
Jordan, at
You go
Jordan
ahead.
Lake,
You go.
at Jordan Lake, we caught a 6 pounder our first tournament ever. So
Wow.
so yeah, that just made me want to do it.
Was that the Bass Nation events?
Oh yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And then, because if I'm not mistaken, this is your first Bassmaster Junior Series event ever, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow, and that's a heck of an accomplishment, man. I mean, I've been following you on social media for a long time, and of course, me and you talk back and forth every now and then. But seeing you place second place and then third place by like ounces every time, it was kind of due for one, man. I kind of felt like you it was coming.
Yeah.
That tournament win was on the line. But
Yeah.
kind of go ahead and start me through your practice day. Like, how did practice go for y'all?
Oh, practice was really not good. It's just that place so big, you can't really. It's hard to figure out the Virginia side, but so we went out there and fished a couple creeks, and we didn't catch. We caught 2 fish the entire day. So we changed our plan, and we went to Eastland Creek, and yeah, that's really where we found our fish.
Yeah, so Eastland, I know it's kind of like a community hole. Everybody,
Yeah,
I'm sure when y'all pulled in like I did, there was a bunch of boats in there.
yeah.
Everybody
There
knows
was
about Eastland.
six boats in there,
Wow.
probably. Yeah.
Wow. So what was y'all's like idea going into practice? Were you looking for something specific or just kind of junk fishing around?
We really had no idea what we were doing because we've never put in on the Virginia side, so we just put in to like figure out the water and yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know about y'all, but I know my first day of practice, it was rough. It was windy, it was choppy, it beat my back out on that boat. Was it kind of the same for y'all, little choppy out there?
Well, it was choppy, but it was hot. It was really hot
Yeah.
outside.
You ain't lying, man. That our last day of the tournament, I think it was close to 90, and there was no wind. It was bad.
Yeah,
It was pretty rough.
yeah.
But so what was the kind of first clue you got that like keyed you into a pattern or just kind of what the fish were doing?
So we pulled up in Long Grass Creek and we skipped under the first dock that we pulled into, and it was in 5, 6 foot of water. So I caught a spotted bass under there, and then we went down to the next couple docks and caught one there. And those are the only 2 fish that we caught in practice. So we were going to go there, but then we went to Eastland Creek and we caught one in there. It missed a bunch, and so we went to Longgrass Creek just to get a couple like spotted bass, so we
Yeah,
can like get a couple fish. Then we went back and we caught one. We finished out our limit there.
there you go. So you can kind of, I guess that's your practice. It was just, you said just two fish during practice.
Yeah, just two fish
So
during practice,
I know
and
that's tough.
we caught 10 during the tournament.
Dang. So y'all kind of flipped a switch. You found something that worked and
Yeah,
it kind of paid off because I know there's always this saying of you can win practice, but he ain't always gonna win the tournament.
yeah,
That's kind of how I feel sometimes. My first day of practice, I had 18, yeah, right at 18.5 for my best five fish, and then the tournament was awful. But having those tough practice days, I mean, it's got to be a mental thing. It's got to be in your mind. Like I don't even know if we're gonna get a limit today.
yeah.
It's
It's
rough. But go ahead and start through kind of your tournament day. How was launch? Was it pretty crowded? Was it
Yeah, it was.
chaos?
It was. Yeah, there was a bunch of boats in that little hole, so it was like we had to pull over to the side and put power pole down to the on the bank, and we just got out the way because there were so many boats.
Oh
So
yeah, it's a small ramp. For how many boats were there? It's a real small ramp. So
yeah,
were y'all early boat number or a late boat number?
so we were boat 14, so we were pretty early.
Oh wow, yeah. So do you think that had any influence in how your fishing day went?
Well, I really went into it thinking we were going to get boat like the last boat because that's normally what we get. But when we got boat number 14, I was like, yeah, maybe we can get to our spot before other people do, and we just catch fish.
Yeah. Was there any kind of thought of a shad spawn maybe with that early boat number where
Yeah,
y'all kind of
cause
counting on a shad?
yeah, cause we all we saw was like we saw some fish jumping. We were like scoping, and we saw a whole bunch of bait fish, and there were I think they were spotted bass on them, but we couldn't ever get those to bite.
Yeah, it's some that lake is tough, man. You can find a shad spawn, but if unless you find a largemouth, those spotted bass seem to be locked jawed around that bait. It can be
Yeah.
tough for you.
hmm
So walk me through the first fish. How was that feeling?
First fish. So we pulled up on the in the Eastland Creek, so I picked up my crankbait, and the first cast, I caught like our second biggest fish on a point. So we fished that around. I missed one about 4 pounds, and then we went to the next little cove, missed another one about 5 pounds. So that was just it was tough but I just put my head down and grinded.
Yeah,
Just
that's missing those fish, man. That's got to be a big mental thing. Was that early in the day when you missed them?
Oh, it was really early. It was the first 2 hours of the tournament.
Oh man, and you're thinking about that the whole day. That just sits
Yeah,
with you.
yeah, it
So
does.
were y'all relying on your scope a lot, or were y'all just kind of old school fishing?
Well, we old school fished, so we threw a shaky head on the bank with the zoom trick worm on the back of it on
Oh
the
yeah.
shaky.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, the watermelon candy color. It
Yeah.
was it was good. So
People
you
don't
put
know about that color, man. That's the
yeah
North Carolina color. It's I've noticed here in Tennessee, like a lot of people don't know about watermelon candy. They'll throw that watermelon red flake, throw that
yeah
green pumpkin watermelon, but that candy color, for some reason in North Carolina and Virginia both, they just hammer them.
Yeah, you throw them on the bank at a stump beside a dock, and
Yeah.
it's on. Well,
Dang. So
we probably missed 20 fish, and it was hard.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So was it kind of like did it almost feel like they were short striking it or were they getting it pretty good?
Well, I felt like one short, like hit a chatterbait really good, and I set the hook and it broke off because I saw the fish. He was 5 feet in front of me.
Wow.
It was bad, but
Man,
they were.
it
I
was
feel
not a
like
clean fishing day, was it?
no, it wasn't. I think they were short striking the shaky head a lot because I'd have the fish and I set the hook and the back of the shaky head be gone. So
Wow. So yeah, they definitely were short striking it then. That's never fun when they hit it
No.
hard and you catch every fish. You feel it. It's a good day, but sometimes they're just lockjawed, man. They don't really want to go out there and eat.
Yeah.
Do you think you were fishing for more spawning fish, or were you fishing kind of that post spawn, shad spawn chasing fish?
We really fish both. So we pull up on a spot, we see some minnows under a dock, we skip a wacky worm under there, and it was pretty good under the docks. But I feel like we saw a couple beds, and we cast it up there on the beds,
Yeah.
and I you flick it to shake your head a couple times, and they just carry it off the bank, and yeah, I think that's
Yes.
what it was.
Yeah. Do you think that's how your big fish came out?
Um, our deep, our big fish came in pretty deep water, so I don't think
Really?
it was on bed.
Go ahead and talk me through that big fish, man. That's always the best story of the tournament.
Yeah, so we pulled up on a dock. It was the last dock in the cove. It was the smallest dock too. So I was like, let me power pole right here and skip this wacky worm under the dock. So we power poled down. I first cast under there. I didn't even pull my rod up. Swimming, it was swimming to the side. So it was a dock off the bank. It was deep. It had stumps all around it, and yeah, it was real small. So
There
yeah.
you go. So you think those power poles they kind of helped you out a little bit in that situation?
Oh yeah, the power poles are great. I love them.
Yeah, I've got to get some put on my new rig now, man. It's been
Yeah,
tough when I was
I recommend them because in the wind, those things are amazing.
that's what I've seen, man. And putting your boat on the trailer, being able to power pole down, waiting for the truck is just
Yeah,
that's so much that's nice, man. It's just so
yeah,
easy
it's
to do.
really, it's nice. It takes a lot of pressure off of having to troll motor all around all the boats. Just
Yeah.
pull up on the bank and power pole. It's really a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, how big was that fish? The
It was
biggest
four
one?
four four
Four,
pounds.
four.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's and you I know I talked to your dad and he said y'all lost some quite a bit
Uh,
bigger than that.
yeah, we've lost one about five, but it is what it is. I mean, you can't complain.
No,
So
I mean you got that shiny thing sitting next to you. You
yeah,
can't really complain about that.
yeah.
But so I heard about you catching a fish within I think it was about 15 minutes till
Uh,
check-ins. Go ahead and talk me through that one.
So we were using the Mercury 250 riding. We were really far away from the boat ramp. So
Yeah.
we were like it was probably 30 minutes left. So we were like, yeah, we got to go because we didn't know how far we were from the boat ramp. So we just put the Triton and it zoomed us right there to the spot. And I was like, Dad, that spot over there has a lot of sand, rocks, and stumps. So we pulled up there because that was the pattern of the day. So we just throw it. I picked up the shaky head and I just casted at all the stumps and all the stuff. So then my dad was like, "Yeah, we have to go because we're like a good ways from the boat ramp. We got a few minutes." I was like, let me cast it this stump right here at the end." And I cast it up there. I missed it the first cast, but then I put it on spot lock, and then I cast it up there the second time, and it just swam towards the dock. And yeah, it was.
Because you had four fish before that, didn't you? You didn't even have a limit.
Yeah, we had four fish.
Wow. So 15 minutes to go, you find a spot and you're like, Dad, please let me throw at this stump.
Yep.
And you said what, second cast you had him?
Yep.
Wow. That's a heck of a way to win it, man.
Yeah, it was great.
That's insane. So I know it's your first Bassmaster Junior Series event ever, and obviously the first one you've won. How was weighing for you guys? Was it pretty straightforward or was it kind of complicated?
Um, it was good. I was sitting in the hot seat because I was one of the first ones to weigh in,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was surprised how much we had, but I was pretty happy with it. But I was sitting in the hot seat for that long, and then I saw a person come up, and he had a pretty good bag. He only weighed in 3 ounces under me, so it
Yeah, I
was
saw
stressful.
that. It was y'all had 12-2 for your final five, and then he came in and I was stressing out because I was there and
Yeah,
they said 11-15 and I could hear everybody from your family, including me, go,
Yeah,
We got that deep breath of okay, they've got it.
yeah,
It was wild, man. It was crazy to see y'all weigh in. That's the first junior series I've seen actually like gone and participated in the weigh in, and it was insane. It's about as big as ours, man. It's a big
yeah.
old
It's a
event.
big tournament. There was 45 boats in the junior.
That's a good field for those. I mean, that age group, that's a lot of boats out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just insane. So caught the fish on a shaky head and a wacky worm. What kind of like what colors and then kind of like weights and
Um.
stuff like that.
So I had the 3/8 ounce shaky head, and I put a watermelon candy on the shaky head, and yeah, that was really what was getting a lot of our key bites. And it's a zoom trick worm,
Yeah,
and I love these things. That's my go-to. So
yeah.
yeah,
I know
and
it's a great worm for it.
yeah, I caught some on a young white wacky worm too, but
Yeah,
this one here is a Guggen. But
yeah,
I caught a couple on this Guggen one, including the big fish, and
yeah.
I caught a couple of the other ones on the young, but I ran out of those because those things were getting torn up.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Was that
yeah,
white color? Was that the trick? Was switching to white?
yeah. It was the white. I don't know why, but it was some reason that they won't bite in green pumpkin wacky worms, so they were biting this watermelon candy shaky head. I didn't know what it was.
Huh.
And also, I had this crankbait here. It's like a 8.5 foot diver. It's a Yeah. So you throw it on those points and on those rocky points, and they love it. The
Oh,
spotted
yeah.
bass would kill it.
Is that a 6XD or not a 6XD? It's like a 5XD or a 4XD?
Um, yeah, I think it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's a Strike King.
Yeah,
Yeah. So cranking and throwing worms up shallow.
yeah,
That's a heck of a way to win a tournament, especially on Bugs Island, where it's known for that. They start moving out for post spawn, you've got to kind of be out there scoping them a little bit on them humps, being able
yeah,
to get up there and old school fish shallow. I mean, do it how it used to be done, man.
yeah.
It's
That's my favorite way to fish. So I just
absolutely,
that's what I try to find patterns on every tournament. So
yeah,
what we try to do is find them on the bank somewhere, so we can fish how we're comfortable fishing.
absolutely. You got to fish in your element.
Yep.
That's part of it, man. What about future tournaments? What have you got coming up, and what are you excited for?
This coming up weekend, I have a tournament at Baden Lake. It's 2 hours away, and I've done some research on it, and I think it's gonna be good. So, and
There you
then the
go.
next weekend,
Is it a shad or a herring lake? Do you know?
I don't know. I've
Okay.
not I've not really done a lot of research on it.
Okay. Okay. And then what after that?
The next weekend after that, it's Gaston, and then me and my dad fished that tournament. So
There you go. Is that a Bass Nation event?
no, sir, it's I fish for a club called Five County.
Yeah.
So
There you go. So what about Gaston? What's your game plan there? I know you just won on the lake that butts right up to it. You gonna try to
yeah,
do the same thing?
I'm gonna try to catch some big spotted bass. So I've had luck at Gaston fishing docks with wacky worms too and shaky heads, and I just love those two baits to throw
Yeah.
at docks. Yeah,
Just sticking to your guns, man. I mean, if I had just won a tournament on the lake sitting above the lake you're about to fish on those two baits, you'd be crazy not to try to throw them again.
yeah. But the
It's
water clarity is a little different from Gaston and Car Lake because Gaston's a little bit clear. So I might have to adjust the colors a little bit, but
Yeah, and I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you,
I'll make
I
it
know
work.
for sure they are on bed at Gaston. I had just caught I think three of us on the team caught the same bedding fish within like 2 hours on a
That's
glide bait.
on a glide bait.
On a glide bait. That's how I like to bed fish. I like grabbing a big old. I've got my BPM custom the swim bait rods that I have. And man, that thing's a 7-11 heavy, and I can take a 3-4 ounce glide bait and just chuck
Yeah.
it all day.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. That's how I like fishing spawners. I like throwing big baits like a mag draft, coal shad, mag draft, any of those big paddle tails, and then when they're getting kind of antsy and fired up, I'll start chopping a glide bait, kind of that side to side pattern, and it seems to get them just kind of fired up enough to eat it.
Yep, I love throwing my luge rods with the glide bait. I
Oh
love
yeah,
luge. Yep,
oh yeah,
it's so
man.
smooth. They're so smooth.
They're great setups, man. I mean, for the money, you can really not go wrong with Lutz right now. They're kind of the top of the game when it comes to that price point range.
Whenever I win a tournament, I save up my money for matching luge rods because I love them.
There you go, man. So what was kind of your rod and reel setup that won you the tournament? I saw a lot of bait
Um,
casters on your deck.
yeah, I've had all bait casters on my deck because I like throwing my wacky worm on a bait caster. I know some people like to throw them on spinning rods, and
Yeah,
because I feel like that the hook set it's got more backbone and it gets the hook in there better. And the shaky head, I like to throw like a 7 foot medium
yeah,
heavy kind of medium heavy. I feel like they both work pretty good for it.
yeah. Is there a certain line of loose rods you kind of gravitate towards?
What was the question?
Is there like a certain line, like a certain I know like the Lose has got their TP2s and
Oh
then
yeah,
they've got their like mock smash.
yeah. I like the KVD like cranking series. Have you seen
Yeah.
those?
Oh yeah.
The rods is what I like the rods, and I get the burgundy the burgundy on luge reels.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The I believe they're the KVD speed spools, right?
Yep, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
there you go. Yeah, those are some good setups, man. Those cranking rods, they were kind of pioneering those what a cranking rod should be for a long time.
Yep.
They're good setups. But I got one last thing for you, man. One last question at least. I know I'm big on faith and stuff like that when I'm fishing. I know I kind of relate everything back to
Yes.
God and all like that. How big of an influence was that on you this week?
Um, yeah, it was a huge influence. Whenever I missed those fish, I was like, Lord, I know that was bad, but I gotta put my head back down and grind because there's nothing I can do about those 2 fish. And yeah, and then
Yeah, just gotta leave it to Him, man. That's all
yep,
it is.
that's all you gotta do.
Yep. I mean, you obviously did. You had 4 fish with 15 minutes left of the tournament, and you caught that last keeper that put you in the first place spot, man.
Yes, sir.
That's insane. But that's all I've got for you. Is there any sponsorships or anything you'd like to thank before we get off of here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Nextcast because they've been a supporter for me for a long time. Collins Boating, I like to thank Fred Page because
Yeah.
that's where we go to get any of our boat service and stuff. And also Mercury because those Mercury 250s, they will they'll make that 21 foot Triton fly with the 20.7 foot Triton fly. And Buckhorn Boat Dock's been huge. Bob Dumont, huge shout out to him because he's really a great person. And Triton, I love the boat. Had no issues with the Triton and power poles. Those whenever you see a fish on the bed and whenever you see a key spot that you want to fish and it's windy, you put the power poles down and it's a game changer. And
Absolutely, man.
yep. And I also huge shout out to my family and also God because I couldn't do it without those two. So
Absolutely, man. That's a heck of a story, man. I'm really happy for you. I know that trophy sure looks good in your room. Uh,
yes,
I said I was done with you, but I got one more thing. Who rode shotgun with you? Was it the trophy in the front seat or was it mom in the front seat?
well, I rode with my dad back home in the boat, so I fell asleep on the way home, but I had the trophy in my lap when I was sleeping.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome. But that's all I've got for you, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Uh, That's an incredible story, man. But I'll be in touch with you more and more, trying to ask about the national championship coming up, and then I'll have
Okay.
to see how y'all do at state championships.
Yes, sir.
But I'll see you later on, brother.
Okay, see you.
See you.